Okay, now for the flower problem, we are in the do section. So in the do section, we need to know the standard deviation of our x variable. We need to know the standard deviation of the residuals, and then we can calculate the standard error of slope. So the first thing we want to do is calculate Sx, and that's pretty easy. That's just our regular one variable statistics and find the sample standard or the standard deviation. So in this particular case, we are going to go to stat and go to calculate, and we're going to do a one variable statistics of list one, and then go to calculate. And we want to scroll to the fourth row, and that's SX, and it is 1.168. And so that is the standard deviation of our X variable. That's the first piece of information we need. The next thing we need is the standard deviation of the residuals, and that's little s. And in order to find little s, we need a list. We need the residuals in a list. So if we go to stat, we go to edit, we only have list one, which is the tablespoons of sugar, and list two, which is the number of hours of freshness. We need to go to list three, and we want all of our residuals in there. So highlight, go to the very top and highlight list three, and we need to change that to residuals. And again, to change it to residuals, you go to second stat, pull up your list menu. So second list is what it's doing, and go to number 7, or whatever your residual is in, and then hit enter, and it'll put all your residual values for each tablespoon of sugar. So there you have the residuals. And once you know the residuals, you can do a one variable statistics now on list 3. So go back to stat, go to calculate, do a one variable statistics, and you are going to use list 3. So to change it, second and the number 3, that pulls it to L3. And we do not want, most students think like, oh, I'm going to go and click on SX because it's 7.18, and that'll give us the standard deviation. That is not the most accurate because it is going to use n minus 1 for the formula instead of n minus 2. And our formula says the standard deviation of the residuals is equal to the square root of the sum of x squared divided by n minus 2. So what we need is that 566.4. So that goes in our numerator. That's going to give us a more precise answer. So 566.4 divided by 12 minus 2, because there's 12 flowers. Do that and then take the square root of it, and that'll give us the standard deviation of the residuals. And it will end up being 7.53. And then you can calculate the standard error of the slope pretty easily, which will be 1.94, and I'll show you. And then just to bring back where T star is, so go to second vars, that's going to be your distribution menu, and you would do an inverse T, and then you would put your area. So just don't forget to divide by 2 and then change into a decimal, and then the degrees of freedom, remember, is n minus 2. So that would then finish up the problem for 12.1b, and those are the rest of your notes. So have a great day.